So I was asked once, do you really eat like this every night? I mean, you cook from scratch every night? How do you do it? How do you find the time and the desire to cook from scratch after a long day of work? Well, I do have to admit it is easier for most people, and myself included, to grab a takeout menu or to run through a drive-thru or grab a pre-made meal at the store. But it is actually really easy to create a very quick, healthy meal from scratch in under 10 minutes. So that's what we're doing tonight. I started out in the morning by putting chicken breasts that I had cut up into a bag in the fridge. And in that bag I had some garlic, some soy sauce, and a tiny bit of olive oil. So they marinated all day, therefore doing all the hard work for me. I took that chicken out, and I also took a bag of frozen stir-fry mix out of the freezer, and I left that on the counter. Heated my pan up with some olive oil. Once it was hot, I threw the chicken in, and we were off. As the chicken cooks, you see it creates some liquids, and the way that I gauge how far I want to cook is by that. So you'll see me stirring it often, and that's me checking the doneness of the chicken as well as the amount of liquid that is left. Because I do want a bit of a caramel color on the outside, but I don't want burnt chunks. I wish you could smell this through the screen. It smells like your favorite Chinese restaurant all day long. Stir and make sure there's no burnt parts. I don't know about you, but it is satisfying to sit and watch food cook. It definitely relaxes me after a long day of work. There's nothing I love more than coming home and creating good, healthy food for myself and my husband. So while I was letting this cook, I was taking the time to make sure that I had my counters cleaned up and I set the table. You don't have to have one thing finished before you start the next thing when you're cooking. That's the good thing about it. We're going to add the frozen veggies that I had thawed out. By thawing them, it takes a lot less time. Stir it all up together, get that soy sauce all mixed in. Just let those veggies cook and get nice. Again, you will want to stir this occasionally so that nothing sticks to the bottom and burns. Get the plates ready. Threw a tablespoon of butter into the pan, and we're just going to let that warm up on a medium-low. See my whole setup, which again, I didn't really do well because the butter was on the wrong side. Stir. Again, we're going to keep the pan with the butter in it on a medium-low so that it can melt up over the butter. And now, the challenge. Can I crack the eggs in one hand? Yes, we're going to find out. So we're going to crack 2 eggs into the butter, trying to get it as much into the center of the butter as possible. And over on the stove off. And we'll just let it simmering with a little bit of sea salt. Again, one-handed. It's not safe. So the eggs are just cooking. We're not doing a fried egg, and we're not doing a scrambled egg. We're kind of doing it in between, where I'm going to start by frying the eggs, and then I'm going to chop them up as they finish. So no, I didn't screw this up, even though it looks like it. I really did this on purpose. I'm going to bring the eggs all together, try to get as much of the butter on the egg as possible. Break the yolks. Notice I took that off the heat so it can just sit and simmer. We have this cooking very low and slow. We don't want to fully fry the eggs. We're not going for the texture and the flavor. We want to just kind of break them apart and let them cook lightly. Get all the bits and pieces together, put it up. Again, this was 2 eggs and some butter. No added seasonings, no oils, just some butter and some eggs. Chopped up so that it can get nicely cooked, but still has a bit of that yolk that is flavorful and raw. These are farm fresh eggs, so we want to make sure we get all the flavor of them. Now we're going to plate. We'll take a couple of big scoops of the chicken and vegetables. And take a bit of the egg, and there you have it. A healthy from scratch dinner in under 10 minutes.